And welcome back to the final group, the final day here of the Rongyi Cup Season 3 Group Stage, Group D. I'm of course just VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos, as we've had a very intense weekend of StarCraft with non-stop groups, Group A, B, C, and now D. 4 days, 4 groups of Rongyi Cup leading into the playoffs, which begin later on tonight. True, they do begin later on tonight. For those who are curious, this is a big premier tournament at 21,000 USDs, the prize pool for the event, and we had 16 players. We had 16 players, but we have been bidding them adieu over the course of the past couple of days. Already, the other groups have concluded. We already have our top 6. We have our top 6 players making it into the main event, and we are here to determine who will advance on alongside them. Here we go. We have our group stage. We have our 4 players remaining in a group D, and let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the group itself. Let's go, baby, let's go. Let us switch our scenes over, and bam, you have our 4 players. Remember, this is a GSL group. Top 2 make it through, bottom 2 are knocked out, and we are having our initial matches into the winners match, elimination match, and then decider match at the very end. We have 2 Protoss, 1 Terran, 1 Zerg. We have Maru and Solar as our Terran and Zerg players, and we have Cyan and Cristiano as our Protoss players. I would say that this is one of the more one-sided groups in the group stage. Despite that, we have seen upsets in the past. For example, last year, Cyan did defeat Maru. He did defeat Maru at the beginning of 2025. That did happen. I think that was in Masters Coliseum, if I remember correctly. It was Masters Coliseum, or it wasn't Stars War 11. I think it would have been Masters Coliseum at the start of the year. But yeah, Cyan, he's beaten Maru before, but that was more of the exception to the rule. Likewise, Cristiano has also beaten Solar before as well, more recently in his PvZ matchup. So that is going to be a bit of a spicier one that I'm going to be looking forward to. And likewise, we'll see how Cyan is looking in current StarCraft. A year ago, he did defeat Maru, that is true. But at the same time, Cyan, he's one of the more inactive players, right? He's not playing in all these open cups and open tournaments. He does play in regional events every now and then, referring to Sunrise Cup, for example, and other Chinese team leagues. But even then, it's still few and far between. So it's really hard to gauge the current skill of Cyan and gauge kind of how he's looking in comparison to Maru. Oh boy. So we're about to find out. We're here to find out. Up first is going to be Maru versus Cyan. Game 1 is going to be on Tourmaline. Let's go. We are jumping into our first series of the broadcast, into our first game. And again, as we mentioned before, we are going to be wrapping up the group stage here today. This is a replay cast. I should emphasize that. I'm sure there's someone asking, when were these games originally played? Around 10 hours ago. Around 10 hours ago. Last night was when this group initially was broadcasted. If you recall, we were actually casting Group C at the time, and we were unavailable to cast Group D live. So we're here to catch up on it around 10 hours later after the fact. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning. Oh. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss, the Chinese Protoss. It is Cyan, aka Lancer. Hold on, I gotta. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out filters. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to fix up the names in the UI, but here we go. We're jumping into our TVP, jumping into our first game here on Tourmaline. Tourmaline, of course, is one of the small maps of that pool. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline, and we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. Already double gas opener out of Maru. We do expect to see all-ins out of Maru. He's very fond of all-ins in TVP, and I would imagine that he will showcase that throughout the course of this series. 2 base all-ins are going to be heavily favored here, so eyes are on Maru. So far, racks in the factory. Remember, double gas. Double gas means faster factory, means a delayed CC. We should still be expanding, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a later expansion in favor of earlier tech. Faster factory, faster starport as well. We'll see where this leads us. Maru has a lot of options. Does have a lot of options. Bienvenidos in the chat. I see Lalith, Psycon, Salensvard as well. Quack, quack. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. La grasa. Buenas noches, buenas noches. As from here, we have our tech of choice, Twilight Council Opener out of our Protoss player. And meanwhile, back at home, it's going to be initially Reaper into Reactor. So we have Reaper Hellion initially. We'll see if Reaper production continues. And if we do commit into Reaper Hellion, the goal is going to be economic damage. That will be the goal. Speaking of, yep, there it is, a Reactor Reaper Hellion out of Maru. So the way this works is that Reaper Hellion does fall off quite quickly coming into the mid game, right? It doesn't really scale too well in a longer game, but this early in the game, this excels at doing what? At killing workers. The goal should be to break into the mineral line, to rush through this area. If Cyan were to realize what was going on, he would have to wall off. Pylon, gateway, robo, get a unit in position, get a sentry for a force field, and wall this area off to make sure that the Reaper Hellion does not get in. Unfortunately, currently, I believe Cyan has not gotten a glimpse of what is happening. He has yet to confirm how many Reapers and how many Hellions there are. You can see he's working on that Sim City, but if he fails to get this wall up and running, then Maru can just bust in. As he moves out with the Reaper Hellion. And again, the SimCity here is lacking. We have a charge-based opener out of Cyan. Interesting. And Maru, he's running past. Yeah, he's just going to rush past. He'll lose one Hellion in the process. We attempt a body block, but oh no! The Reapers, they get in. The Reapers, they do slip by. They get into the main base, and they're going for the probes. A couple of boys are being pulled, and how many probes are going to be going down? So far, 4, 5. Yeah, 5, 6 probes going to be falling. 6 workers for 3 Reapers. Sorry, 4 Reapers, right? Yeah, 3. 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. You know what? Not the worst trade here for Cyan. This could have been a lot worse. This could have been the entire mineral line. So he does shut this down. In the end, we do see Maru trading at 5 units for 6 probes. So again, not the worst trade for our Protoss player. Meanwhile, Maru, he did fail to scout. For all he knows, it could actually be a Stargate behind this. The chances are quite low, but again, it's a little bit in the dark. Meanwhile, going into charge like this, we do see that Cyan is going to commit. He's going to commit into what looks to be potentially a 2-base all-in. Going into charge this quickly is going to be ideal if he expects Maru to be aggressive into him. Otherwise, again, if Maru's unaware as to what's going on, if he is lacking SimCity, then early charge can excel. So Momentum swinging from one player to the other. Meanwhile, Maru going to be opening up with the early Raven. So it's Reactor Reaper Hellion into Tech Labs, into Tank Raven production. Tanks are setting up, but Raven moves out. You can see the Prism here. Cyan, he's looking to push. War Prism is on the way. Now, Cyan did take extra gases here, so that means he's taking. So this is not a 2-base all-in. He's taking out. We have the Temple Archives on the way. I would imagine that behind this, we should be expanding. Technically, we could be waiting for the Temple Archives to morph in like 1 or 2 Archons and then commit. But nah, there it is. 3rd base. Cyan is expanding. Same time, Raven is moving into harass. Does move in. Cyan keeping his main army back at home and looking to harass with those Archons. Storm begins. No shot we're gonna wait here for storms, right? Like, no, no shot. If that's the case, I mean, we're gonna be waiting here for quite some time. Okay. Storm is being chronoed. Maru's moving out. That's what's terrifying here is that we have 2 High Templar and they're gonna have a storm each here across the map. Back at home, what is it to defend? Does scan, does spot the High Templar. There's 1 High Templar, there's the NG overcharge, so he does have NG for a storm. When storm finishes. Cyan turns back around. Oh, Prism gets spotted. War Prism is spotted, Maru is aware. Cyan, he'll have 3 High Templar at home to defend. Storm will finish. As Maru, he does slip into the main. No major damage, he gets 1 probe, he doesn't have mining time. Ooh, as the probes take back too soon. Yeah, brutal target firing here. 5 probes go down, that should not have happened. So unfortunately, just a bit of a, just came back too soon. A little bit premature there from Cyan. A little bit premature. They do spot each other. Maru still building up. He is getting a third TC, so behind this is going for a bit of a later expansion. Maru moving out with a massive quadruple drop. Okay, this is very committed actually. Maru spots the army and he doesn't react. Yeah, Maru, he does not turn around. He commits here with 4 full medevacs. Very risky. Thankfully for Maru, there's not really much to really threaten his natural. Sure, there's a High Templar, a couple of 4 Zealots. Storm comes in from behind, it gets the mineral line. Maru pulls away. And here comes the Doom Drop. And here comes the Doom Drop into the main. There is a Storm. First Storm connects with, what, 3 Marines. Not ideal. Mine just going up for the mineral line. Massive connections, and that's going to be already 15 probes going down. Already the entire mineral line falls. Army gets picked up. And Cyan is hurting. Cyan, he is hurting here. Behind this is trying to get into Colossus production. Working on Blink, working on +1. He's attempting to stabilize. And Maru's just been chilling. Now, if you recall at the start of the game, I assumed that Maru was going to be more active. I believe that because of the initial scan earlier, referring to when Maru was posturing in the center, he saw that Storm was being researched, he saw that it was a charge-based opener, that Maru, he recognized that it wasn't really safe to move out. I mentioned earlier that opening up charge like this is ideal if you believe your opponent's going to all-in you, just because it can shut down tank-based all-ins very, very easily. But Maru, he backed off, right? Maru, he backed off, he stayed back, he's setting up defensively back at home, so there's Widow Mines, tanks, he has City as well. Maru's ready. He is ready. And Cyan, I mean, he's going to move in soon. He doesn't have a 4th base. Yeah, no 4th extension. Ooh, might just go up. Brutal connection. Bearing in mind that Maru, he does have the better economy. He's up in workers plus mules. 4th base is incredibly late here for Cyan. And the supply is just getting more and more in favor of Maru. Even double expanding, Jesus. He's getting 2 CCs. Maru. Two command centers. Now, there's a chance that Cyan could try to break this position with some storms, but the problem here is that we already have a defensive setup. We're very well spread out here with Widow Mines, with the tanks. There's a lot of ghosts, a lot of EMPs. The quality of the army of Maru is superior here. The one thing he's lacking is going to be Liberators, but hey, there's a second starport on the way. He's getting a second starport. Can start to work in that direction. As Mars claiming his 4th base, Lancer just now getting his own. Cyan even. I think we mentioned this during the podcast, but over the past couple of months, like maybe 6 months or so, Lancer started using Cyan again, so I don't know if he fully name changed or not. Lancer. Cyan. Oh. Yeah, Cyan is double expanding, now getting his 5th base, posturing with the main army. Maru, he's about to max out. And basically, Maru should be staying defensive until he maxes. Just keeping up with the rotations, absorbing these kind of attacks. There's that fusion core, that's going to be for Liberator range. We did mention that the one thing that Maru is missing is Liberators. So Maru, he's getting there. And we see that Cyan, he's going for his own Stargate and +1 air attack. He's looking to switch into Sky Toss. I do like this decision, but I do feel like this could have been made a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, it's going to take a while for the Sky Toss to really kick in and to really get underway. Takes a long time to build Tempest. Oof, as the Prism goes down, High Templar as well. Another High Templar gets sniped. The EMP connects. Do we have any Storms left? One High Templar. Okay, there's one Templar in the back line. Sorry, two Templar. Still a couple of Storms available. See here, Maru making 4 Liberators at a time. As the EP does graze the army. I believe there's still 2 Storms. There's more than that. Maru, he wants that Templar. Lands an EMP. Lands an EMP of the Templar. Ooh, a nice split there by Cyan. Ooh, he splits well, but the Prism goes down to a 2 High Templar inside. I think it just better trades for Maru. Typically in this position, typically in the mid to late game in TVP, the Protoss player has the better base count, the better economy, and the larger bank. That's not the case here. Maru, you can see, has a larger mineral and larger gas bank. One of the reasons for this is because Cyan was very late to expand. His 4th base was insanely late, his 5th base was delayed, his 6th base, like the bases just were too little too late. Not just that, but Maru has also been more efficient. It's been more cost efficient. Now we have the Fleet Beacon on the way, 2 more Stargates. As I mentioned, it takes a long time to get into Tempest. Oh no! Cyan, he does step a little bit too far forward. There's actually not that much anti-air here. I just realized there's only, what, 5 Stalkers? Okay. More Stalkers coming in. Oof. Snipes on the High Templar. Maru pushing forward, he's got the freedom. He's got the freedom, he's got the liberation. He sets up here on the main army. High Templar, they get sniped. That's well, 6 Liberators. As the EMP connects. At the same time, a very nice Zealot run by Maru. His entire army here on the right hand side. There are no reinforcements, so these Zealots, they're going by unchecked. There's not really many SCVs to kill, but hey, they get some depots, they're breaking into the main base, and they force the entire army back home. As they're picking up some add-ons. It's an expensive run by, but I mean, hey, it does give Cyan some breathing room. It allows him to potentially get into Sky Toss. I say potentially because he has yet to begin any Tempest production. So still no Tempest. I feel like this would be the moment. As the Liberators, they reposition, the army's gonna be bullied back. Cyan, he's running out of Storms. He only has 1 High Templar left. Yeah, 1 High Templar, no Storms. And Maru can just chase. Maru, he can't just chase. There's still a Zealot in the main. The 1 Zealot. And Maru can finally push. He can finally push out. Checking the army tab here, there's 1 High Templar left. There are some Storms available. We have Disruptors coming in as well. In this kind of game state, Disruptors are necessary just because they're safe. They're safe against EMPs. First one was a little bit premature. There we go. So if we have Carriers on the way, oh boy, okay. I mean, it'll help if we can get there. Maru intercepts his run by. Pushing top left. Keeping up with the charge lots. So far he's keeping up. Maru, he breaks through the main army, pushing in towards the Nexus. And again, Cyan just doesn't really have anything to stop him. It's just too many losses. Too many losses here. We're bringing more Zealots. Again, Cyan has just been outscaled. Just been outscaled this game. Maru, he's just diving into the main base. He scans, he sees here no stalkers. A couple of carriers will pick up some medevacs though. It's one. It's one medevac for a carrier. Oh god. I say one carrier, two carriers go down. There's one carrier left, and it looks like it will barely survive. No, it still goes down. Yeah, 3 carriers full. Brutal losses. Again, it was a bold move to go into carrier to begin with. Tempest, they have a little more micro potential just because of their range. You can kite back. You can keep them safe. They're more efficient. Going into carrier, I feel like is a good move if you have momentum. If you have map control and if you're containing your opponent, then carriers can excel. Like if we have a different situation where Maru is like struggling to get a 5th base and stuck on a lower base economy. He didn't have the freedom to do this. As Maru sims forward, takes down 2 of the Colossus. Does take a couple of storms to the face, but yeah, he can just break through. He just break through anyway. Takes out the disruptors. We do have a couple of storms left. Oh! Yeah, another storm lands. And Cyan is holding. He's holding on. Losing another carrier. Another carrier goes down in Maru. He's finally done it. He's finally done it. He's finally broken Cyan. Cyan down to just gateway units. He's got 1 carrier. He's burned through his bank. I say that Maru is going to be backing off and most likely rotating to the fringe bases. This will give Cyan some time to actually build up his army again. Unfortunately, he has to build up from the beginning, from scratch. So once again, it's very gateway reliance, gateway heavy. Oh, the dude! Oh, does he get away? He does. Jesus, it does pull away. 6 probes go down. Thankfully, Cyan did notice. Do we have an observer? No. 0 detection. Oof. Yeah, 0 detection. So this is, we just get free damage with the ghost. Drop here behind the mineral line. Drop on the right hand side as well, and Cyan just being pulled apart. Both the important mining bases are on fire. 29 probe kills. Yes, there, Maru. Calm down, baby. Calm down. And alas, we're down to what, a 1.5 base economy. Cyan moving in. Does find a couple of orbitals. Catching out the Colossus. And looks like Cyan is just going for one final last-ditch effort here as he just commits in. He commits in, bleeding out more Colossus, bleeding out more carriers. Yeah, GG gets called. There are just so many Vikings in the sky, and Maru, he will take game number 1. GG. GG. He will take the first game here. Again, a very comfortable game for Maru. It did last quite a long time, that is for sure. But for the most part, like, Maru, he was safe. He was safe and sound. I will say that the early game was where Cyan had the most potential. If you recall, he did go for an early charge base opener. And if you recall, I was mentioning how it felt like he was hoping that Maru would be more aggressive and push into him. But Maru didn't, right? Maru, he was safer. He scanned ahead of time. He recognized the build that was going on, so he just backed off, took a third base, and slowly turtled up. Instead, was able to max out, able to be more cost efficient, able to have a greater economy, and just outscaled Cyan. GG. GG well played. I will say the biggest issue this game for Cyan was his lack of expanding. His fourth base, we did mention, was very late. Very, very late fourth base. So he did fall behind early economically against Maru. So he couldn't really afford inefficient trades. He couldn't really contain Maru because he didn't have the money, the bank to afford, to facilitate for that. And GG. GG in the end was outscaled. And with that, we're now going to be loading into game number 2. We'll see how our players will adjust as we load into a much larger map. Again, Tourmaline is very small, can favor aggression, and we saw that Cyan was kind of expecting that, but wasn't the case. And here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner of White Rabbits. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the... We have the South Korean Terran. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the Chinese Protoss. It is Cyan. I'll fix his colors. Un momento. Filters. There we go. Beautiful. Here we go, so we're getting into our next game, and we do see Maru opening up with his proxy 2 racks. 2 SCVs, they are sent across the map. We are committing here into our proxy, and we'll see if Cyan can recognize what's going on and prepare in time. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, as he is scouting for the proxy. Okay, Cyan, he does scout, he does check, he does confirm both racks. Very nice scouting here, very nice positioning out of Cyan, and ooh, he won't be able to deny the first bunker. This first racks, I should say. The first racks should be able to complete. We have more boys being pulled. This is a big reaction here, and again, that first racks is done. The Reaper's on the way. Reaper's on the way. It is going to be Zealot first here from Cyan. There's a cancellation. Again, at least Cyan did force a cancel on one of the raxes. So you get the eBay block. And from here, the game will continue. So Maru, he should be getting a factory back at home, or even just a CC on the low ground. Yeah, he's going for the greedier response. Okay. Getting his command center. The Zealot moves out across the map, which tells me that this first Reaper has potential to get some damage done. Stalker's only halfway done. So far, Cyan, he controls well. He controls well. The Stalker pops out. Cyan, he will defend. And the Zealot may be able to delay. Maybe able to delay the CC. Remember, there's nothing here. There's no factory. There's no production. So there's nothing to stop the Zealot from getting damage. Should delay, shouldn't be able to kill or force a cancel. But with the help of the Stalker, maybe. Boys are being pulled. Stalker has arrived. The first Zealot is going to be surrounded. Oh, and the first Zealot is going to go down. As Zealot does fall, Stalker's being chased. Taking a lot of hits. Does get 3 SCVs. And Maru, he will defend, even killing that Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Expensive loss early on here for Cyan. Initially, the Zealot delay and the Zealot harass was great, but unfortunately, he wasn't quite able to get much more done. He got surrounded, lost the Zealot early. As Maru, he just ignores this. Okay. I was like, where's the Reaper? Hellion Eye just moving out. So we saw this in game 1, if you recall, where Maru, he's actually going for the Stalker. Shield battery's not yet done. Stalker's getting low. One more volley. Oh god, the Stalker goes down. Yeah, there's one more Stalker on the way. Warp gate is not yet complete. The Reapers are getting to the middle line. Hellion as well. This is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. A massive Hellion shot goes off. Now going for the Stalker. Remember, there's no shield battery. It's on the low grounds. The Stalker up. Doesn't get away. Yeah, it doesn't get away, and this is becoming far too much damage. This is quickly becoming critical damage. 13, 14 probe kills. 15. 16 probes go down. Gets the entire mineral line. And this is game-ending damage. This early on, you cannot afford to lose 18 probes. Insane damage. GG gets called, and Maru will take the series 2-0. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Maru. He will claim the series. He will advance on into the winners match. Again, unfortunately, even though Cyan was able to scout and deny the initial racks, he still did sustain a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he had some miscontrol when he moved out across the map. His first L did get surrounded, did get caught out by the SCV, so it went down a little bit faster than normal, and with that, he did bleed out his Stalker as well. So he did lose 2 units early on. It allowed Maru to build up his Reapers and to counterattack. I would imagine that maybe Cyan wasn't really expecting Maru to continue Reaper production. Remember, the Reaper was proxied across the map. He was still making Reapers, still making use of that proxy, I should say. So was able to bypass the aggressive gateway units of Cyan, punish the fact that Cyan was across the map, and there was nothing at home to defend. There was not enough at home. He had a shield battery on the way, did finish up too late, and GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Maru as it does claim the series, and we're going to be getting into our next matchup. Remember, this is a 4-player group. Maru does advance on. Cyan's going to be knocked down to elimination match, and we're going to be jumping into a ZVP this time. It's going to be Solar and Cristiano.